FM cares. Good morning, angels.
You know, when you see all those hearts flying around and the hearts being drawn on the cards and little heart-shaped chocolates and stuff. But it serves as a reminder about a congenital heart disease or a heart defect week. To tell us more about that, our first special guest I want to introduce you to is Professor Lindi Mitchell, President of the Pediatric Cardiac Society of South Africa and also lead surgeon on the project. Prof Lindi, thank you so much for your time. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic to be here.
What a beautiful, the timing is fantastic. I love how you're doing it, thinking to yourself, oh, people are going to talk about sending hearts and love and Valentines, and to use that as a gentle or not so gentle reminder that there are lots of kids. How many kids suffer with heart defect in our country?
Well, Martin, I'm very happy to be here. And when people hear that I'm a pediatric cardiologist, the first thing they say is, but children don't get heart problems. That's an old person problem. And then I say to them, but actually 1 in 500 children are born with a heart problem.
Sure.
And that's a staggering number if you think that we have a population of 60 odd million in South Africa. That's about 12,000 children every year that are born with serious heart problems that need help.
And it sounds like a delicate procedure.
Yes. The heart is a complex organ, emotionally, physically, anatomically. So a lot of these children need very specialized help.
And am I right in saying that most parents would not consider that? How do you even prepare yourself for that? How do you face that kind of news?
Yes, so many patients and parents are completely sideswiped by the news. They took their child in for something else and the doctor says, do you know that there's a murmur on your child's heart? What's going on there? Have you ever sought help for your child's heart? And then they just absolutely flabbergasted.
If it's untreated, what are the consequences?
So basically, long term, you get more and more of a load on your lungs and on your heart. And the heart slowly weakens and deteriorates to such a degree that then we can't help anymore.
So detection is very important?
Early detection is vital.
Is vital. Talk to me about the treatment. What can you do about it?
So we are very fortunate to live in the day and age that we do, that there is fantastic technology available. So if a child is born with a hole in the heart, we can actually go in through the leg with an angiogram, with a tiny little catheter, and deliver what I always tell the parents is a plug, a small metal device that looks like a little mushroom or a top hat that we can actually put into the heart and close that hole in the heart. And then the child can go home the next day. No open heart surgery.
The next day.
The next day. And the only reason they go home the next day is we like watching them overnight after the anesthetic.
I mean, that's when technology works for us. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Mm. And how successful is, what's the success rate?
Close to 100%.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And we have all those facilities in South Africa,
absolutely.
Luckily. But how many parents can afford it?
Well, that's the problem. 1 in 500 children. If you think of those numbers, very few of those children are actually on a medical aid. So the majority of them are in the state service.
And there's a waiting list, is there?
There's a waiting list. In the state, we work to capacity. Yeah. We fill every list as full as possible. Yeah. But there are just so many children to help that there is a waiting list, and it grows and grows every week.
Now, what is so significant about Congenital Heart Disease Awareness Week? What are you going to be doing between now and Valentine's Day, as it turns out?
So we as a society are doing a lot of this, a lot of talking on radio, a lot of information campaigns, because, as I say, a lot of people don't even consider a heart problem as the cause of their child's tiredness or shortness of breath or not growing. They think it's just how my child is. My child is not a sporty child.
Okay.
So we want to basically reach as many people as possible. We want to reach parents, we want to reach teachers, we want to reach the primary healthcare nurse, nursing assistant. Everyone everywhere must think, but a child can also have a heart problem. Mm-hmm. Maybe I must put that in my list of possibilities and refer the child for assessment.
You'll be doing a number of surgeries?
Yes.
How many are you hoping? I mean, how much does it cost?
So, of course, it's pricey because these devices we put in are made overseas and imported. But we have actually been approached through Operation Healing Hands.
Yes.
By a company called Vertice, who bring these devices in. And they have very generously said that they will donate 20 of these devices. And we're talking 50 to 75,000 Rand per device, depending on the size.
Amazing.
For 20 children, that if we can do that in the next few months, we can help 20 children.
What's our challenge this morning? We want to try and assist you to help as many children as possible, to do as many surgeries over the next week or so as possible. And those surgeries, we're talking about families here, and also joining us, our other guests in studio this morning is Takalani and 5-year-old Wanga. Takalani, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Tell us about little Wanga.
Wanga, such a joyful kid, a very active one. Gets sick there and there. So when we discovered that she is actually sick, she was not well. Her eyes were all closed up. She was very weak, not eating. Then we decided, let's take her to the GP.
Okay.
As what Prof has said, we took her for that. And then the doctor was like, has anyone ever told you that there is a mama in her heart? I was like, no, this is new. We have went to so many doctors, done so many procedures. This is quite new. Then she explained what the mama can be, the reason of, and then she said she suspects PDA. That's a hole in her heart. When I heard that, I was like, what's trying to happening? Because we understand that she's not fine.
Yeah.
But now to hear again that she has a hole in her heart.
That sounds serious.
That sounds scary.
As a parent, you must have, it was such a shock.
It was indeed. It was devastating, especially when we learn the procedure that has to be done.
Oh.
Like, no, now something has to go to her heart. Like, are we sure we want to do these things? But when I tried to search and research more, I was like, it's something that has to be done.
Can we just say, good on the GP for picking up on it, right, Prof?
Yeah. Awesome.
That's what you said. That's the important part. So good on her or him for picking up on that. And then when they start explaining to you what they're going to have to do to the 5-year-old to fix the problem, it must also be hurting your heart.
Definitely. They explained the two ways. I liked the second way that Prof explained.
I hesitate to ask what was the first way that they explained.
The first way was, of course, to operate and get to her heart. That was another opening, and I was like, hey, what if something goes wrong? Now we have load sheddings. What if the electricity goes off? So many things come.
That's just a good point.
Yeah, so many things comes to the mind. But the doctor did assure that, and I even searched it. The second procedure, it's quite safe, if I may say. We are comfortable with that.
Takalani, isn't it amazing that there's technology like that in this country?
It is.
We can help little Wanga.
It is very much amazing, and we thank God for bodies that are out there to assist. Like she said, the cost. I tried as well to ask how much will it cost me. When they told me the figures, I was like, wow. Okay, let's try the state. But as she said, the state is overcapacitated. They are doing what they could, but each and every day they have a case that they need to attend to. So when this came out, I was like, thank you, God, for this. I don't know where it came from, but because it came, we are really much grateful for these bodies that are there and to assist.
We need to help as many people like Takalani and Wanga, right? That is why you've taken it. Why are you not just getting on with your life normally and doing, because you've got enough work? Why, Professor, are you doing this week?
This is my life. These are my children. And for our Pediatric Cardiac Society, we're a small society. There's only 40 of us in the whole country. But
really?
This is what we do. And this is what we've dedicated our lives to. And this is what brings us joy and fulfillment.
Well, bless people like you, good professor. I tell you what, Takalani, so we keep coming back to the costs, and that is, and I say it week after week on Good Morning Angels, for me it's just so hard to accept the fact that, the well-being of a little 5-year-old like that is up to costs. You've got young kids.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, I've got a 7-year-old. In fact, that was one of my questions, is that what age does the illness usually manifest? Because if you might not have detected early enough, maybe you've just not had access to a GP. At what ages? I mean, Wanga is 5, so I assume it's somewhere around there.
So the critical conditions can manifest just after birth. So we are often operating on newborn babies. Obviously, it depends on the size of the hole. The smaller the hole, the longer they can remain undetected. The larger the hole, the more they flood their lungs with extra blood flow, the quicker they present, hopefully. But this is Africa, and sometimes we get children very late, in their teens. My oldest patient that was referred to me was 67. And I said to her, you know what, I think you're fine. You've made it through 67 years. You're going to be okay.
You'll be okay.
That's a good innings.
How much does it cost per child?
So we have been approached as well through Operation Healing Hands by Zuid-Afrikaans Hospital in Pretoria. And the biggest costs, other than the device, is obviously the hospital costs.
You see. Yeah.
Yes, so they have very generously said they will foot part of the bill.
Oh. Nice.
So we're talking about 80,000 Rand per child, but they're going to write off 50,000 of that. So we're left with about 30,000 Rand, which is for the medications, for the anesthetic, to put the child to sleep so that they lie peacefully, they're not scared during the procedure.
Yeah. You want that.
The small consumables, the bits and bobs, the doctors all donate their time, but that's what we're left with for the 20 children. So 20 times 30, we're looking at about 600,000 that we'd like to raise. And if we raise more than that, then we just go on and we go on and we go on.
Your goal is 600,000 to try and help as many kids. And this is made possible by the kind donations and the kindness of the hospital.
Yes.
And that part that
and
you need.
And Vertice, the company that donates the devices, yes.
So we already have those angels on board, but we need more angels to make more of these operations possible. I want to introduce you to a very special angel this morning, Sumari Grebe, co-founder of Naked Insurance. You may have seen their billboards. You may hear them all over the place here on Jacaranda FM as well. Baie dankie vir jou tyd vanoggend, Sumari, en welkom.
Dankie Martin, dis altyd baie lekker om hier te wees.
As julle inkom, is dit altyd goeie nuus. I'm happy to say that it's always good news when they come in as angels. Could there be a better cause? I mean, yes, buying flowers and chocolates and stuff for your Valentine and sending little hearts emojis out and writing a little heart on the letter that you write is one thing. What is better than that? Fixing hearts.
I
Right?
agree. I fully agree with that.
Talk to me. How can we help?
So I think sometimes life is very cruel because you're just lucky where you're born or what privileges you have and what you have access to. And through the Naked Difference, that's part of Naked Insurance, we are very, very proud. And I think each one of our customers should be proud as well that we are able to actually help Wanga and 4 other kids, and to help Dr. Lindi to be able to cover those little bits and bobs. So from our side, from the Naked Difference, we would like to donate 100,000 to help you on your mission, which we think is something that is just amazing. I always look at people like Dr. Lindi and I think, that is a life that is actually contributing to society through what she's doing. So really amazing to meet you. Amazing to meet Takalani and Wanga as well, and to be able to help.
So there you go, 100,000, getting closer. Could I add another 50,000 from the Good Morning Angels Fund?
That is fantastic. Thank you
Yes,
so
angels
much.
coming together, people who support our Good Morning Angels Fund, Naked Insurance, for little angels like Wanga. He's looking at me with the biggest of eyes, knowing not a lot in life, but he can know this, little Wanga, you're in good hands. Yeah. Professor Lindi, thank you very, very much. wat julle doen. Naked Insurance, Sumani en almal wat julle ondersteun, al julle kliënte, everybody that supports our Good Morning Angels fund. It's good to know, Takalani, that there are so many angels around that you may never even meet in your life.
Yeah, that's true.
That you don't know, but they're there, they care enough.
Yeah, you just thank them when you make your prayers, when you are in your moments, you just say thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thanks for coming in. All the best with Lil Wanga, Professor. Jy moet genoeg slaap kry. Het julle 'n generator? Is julle fine?
Nee, ons is fine.
Okay, great.
Ja, ons het alles.
Takalani, no load shedding.
load
Naked
shedding.
Insurance, nice to have you in studio once again. So for the next week, when you're thinking about Valentine's days and broken hearts, think of the kids. En die klein hartjies wat jy vir ons help om reg te maak deur Professor Lindi en haar ongelooflike span in this amazing week coming up, which leads up to Valentine's Day, as it turns out, which I think is beautiful. Congenital Heart Disease Awareness Week. Keep us posted. Happy surgery, is that how you say it? Alles van die beste.
Ja.
Break a leg.
There's no breaking legs.
No, not for the doctors, no. All the very best en dankie dat jy kom deel het. Hoor, dankie vir die werk wat julle doen. Julle is engele.
En baie dankie vir hierdie geleentheid. Dit was fantasties.
Good
Thank you
job,
very much.
angels.
Thanks.
Good job.
Good morning, angels.
Breakfast with Martin Bester. 6 to 9 weekdays. Exclusive to Jacaranda FM.